Oh, hopefully we are live. I hope. I see comments. Good. Good. Okay, here we go. Is what is this the new Vandal? Is this what it's called? Is this what the new Vandal's called? Is this the one? Yeah. How many Valorant points do I have? Oh, enough. I've got enough. Which one's the best one? It's not really for me. Ah, the yellow's a bit bright. That's a bit dull. Ah, let's go for you. Oh. Oh. Just thinking about it. Have I broken it? Poor toolbox with 10 gifted. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna make. Well, I've just recorded it. The video I'm gonna make for Paper X. And I don't know why I need the finisher. I ended up getting a bit emotional talking about it, to be honest. You'll see why in the video. Fuck me. What is going on? Why am I getting a huge F? Okay, hold on. Let my internet stabilize a bit. Do I like the new Vandal skin? I haven't really used it, to be honest. I don't really know. No F. They're definitely. I was dropping frames. I've had to bring down the fucking bitrate. I'll try and bring it back up, kind of steadily. See if my internet's back. But yeah, I can wait a little bit to get people in here so that they don't miss anything. Okay, it seems to be kind of full.
You get shot, you lose the round, you lose the game.
Well, look, for Jesus, thanks for the 10 months. But yeah, thanks Squad Toolbox as well for the 10 gifted. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Why'd you get emotional? Don't you hate Paper X Corn? No, not at all. I think a lot of people might have that thought if they watched the Wolves Paper X game, but that's just banter. Check the Ghost. Oh yeah, the Ghost. What's it called? You know, with P. No, this is the best Ghost though. Which one? What is it? Phase Guard. This has to be the best Masters event so far. It's definitely up there. I was thinking through it in my head last night. Oh, fuck me.
Had the best day today. Applause break.
You should be a VIP now, right? I did VIP you and Nova Wins Champs. You should have it, right? Upgrade the knife? Huh. Quite like the Prism X. What's it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. Phase Guard Splitter. How do the other knives look? That one looks quite nice, to be fair. Well, I'm gonna stick with this though for now. Let's go with gold. The gold reminds me of like COD days. You know what I mean? Like when you get a golden gun on like old COD, like COD 4 golden gun. When you got like so many headshots with it and stuff. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. What do Wolves need to do to win Paris? Believe that they can.
Oh yeah, I'm an important person now.
Is double scan viable? Well, we'll talk about some things. What the fuck just happened? Well, hold on then. My stream didn't drop, did it? No. That sometimes does just happen on these. I think that is something that can just happen, but we should get back on it. I believe Vice is a must pick on Corrode. Next comment, I think Vice won't be viable. Can Lysol play Omen on this map? You know what? He might have to. I'm like, right now, I'm telling you right now. In fact, I already know 4 of the agents, I'm pretty sure. That I would play at least on this map. I already know 4 of the agents I would play. Okay, I'm not drifting.
I'm number 4 all-time gifter. Track by
Pretty
track.
impressive. Who's top? Is it still Floor? Floritis? Canada Man? Who else?
No one can hold their breath forever.
Okay, let's get in. So, I already think I have a decent idea. Kid, of course, Kid. How forgetting Kid? What do I think of Paper X now that they've won?
They are not.
It'll be interesting to see how they deal with.
Let's
Let's take a look at this ghost.
like smoke through
It does look
lungs.
quite nice, doesn't it? I love the way you hold it is kind of sick. I'm kind of lagging a bit here. Hold on, well, let me put cheats on.
My ultimate is ready.
Right. So. Ooh, that as well is quite nice how you. I mean, that's quite cool. I like that. Right, let's talk about Viper stuff. I think there's good Viper walls on both A and B, to be honest. I think walls like this is pretty good. Right? Allowing you to walk all the way up into elbow. I think some kind of wall across here to elbow, just quite good. But I also think we come to where the barriers start on, well, yeah, I don't even need to. I also think this wall on B is also really good. I think both these walls are good, right? Gives you the first part on main. Oh, I mean, I like the way it zooms in as well. Quite a good skin. This I quite like as well, right? Can't be seen. Getting all the way into here. I think both of those walls kind of fucking cook. I think both of them are quite good. I did see the waylay buffs, yeah. But yeah, whether it's... So, when you're attacking A, like I explained in my video, this is going to be like a kind of slow... It's quite big, right? This whole area is quite big. In terms of like... You're going to want to probably take this space first. Right, this is going to be important to take. Now, the one angle you need to be careful of with this wall is this one. Right? That's the angle you need to be most careful of. But either, and I did check this, you can do lineups if you wanted to. From like back here, I can't remember where it was, but I did check this. You can jump line up, you know, bounce it off this wall and put your orb there. And what that means is like anyone there obviously now can't see shit. You also create a bit of a one-way here for you. Or you could just put a normal smoke there as well if you wanted to. And then, you know, do something like this. Weirdly, you could actually walk on this side of the wall as well. If you really wanted to. But that's what's good about this wall. Like, once you get to here, you can kind of just... Like, if you did have that orb there, you actually legit could do this. Take this risk and come this way instead. That could be quite interesting. But yeah, some sort of setup like this. I mean, you might not need to put your orb there. I'm not sure how often people will play this angle. They probably will, I would have thought, but you can probably push them back fairly easily because they won't want to die. But this probably will be a pretty common angle of starting around from. You know, I don't know.
Is this on Unreal Engine 5?
I actually don't know what it works. Is there a way of checking? I mean, not on my ping, isn't. When is it out? 2 days, 3 days, something like that. But yeah, I just think Viper is very good. Now, you know what's funny? It's something I found. Hold on, let me swap team.
30 seconds.
This isn't super useful, but it is kind of funny. Which is this. So you can't do one-ways on these walls, right? On that wall there, you can't put a one-way. Same on A. You can't put a one-way on this here. What you can do is you can come and line yourself up with this on the barrier. Aim just below the right-hand window of that. Throw your orb. And get a one-way. Now the problem with this, of course, is the way the Viper Fuel works isn't super helpful for one-ways. But I did think it was funny. I'm not sure this will be that useful, because of course, after your fuel goes down, you then can't refresh it. But it might catch people off guard early on. And they might not really think about it. But I did think it was funny.
Poison's off.
A mid wall from B to A. Are you talking on attackers or defenders? Because on attackers, yes. A wall across mid is also pretty decent. There's a couple walls that I thought were okay. Whether it's just something like this, right? Where
Toxins going up.
you know, you block off that. Give yourself this option. Like that's a fine wall, right? Like I do think that the walls, I think A and B, like I see it like split, right? I definitely see this like split. In fact, I see this part specifically towards B main and stuff. Like this is very split-esque. Right, doing a wall across here. You know, take the early part of B main with your wall, right? Drop it somewhere there. Clear this out. You know, come back. Put the wall back up. Maybe have like some kind of util to clear this part. Walk up. Shoot. Can't see me, can't see me, can't see me. I'm all the way tucked back in here. Right? Post plant, you can use a wall to maybe defend this too. It's just a very good wall, I think that is. And you can do a wall like that. I did check this as well. For the barriers drop, you can do this wall.
This is
and then
Valorant.
you can run all the way back here and still have time. The Fernsey, thanks for the 18 months.
Another Viper map.
I'm sorry to say. You can run all the way back here and throw your orb. I can't remember how you did this, how I did this, but you know, it's something like this. And it'll land here.
Here.
Where did mine go? Oh, not bad. Close. But yeah, you can do that in the time of the barriers, and so you get this set up. So you have orb here, great pressure there, and you have wall here to create pressure on B. Now, so I'm pretty convinced by Viper. I'm not as sure about the defensive setups. There's one on B that I quite like that I made, and I think it'll probably just be something like this kind of stuff, right? Where you just line up this corner with that box, right? So you just do something like that. If you do this, from the attacker's perspective, they have to get to A. They have to cross through this wall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? So that's quite annoying for them. So something like that could be pretty good overall, I think. Having to cross through a wall 5 times seems pretty good. And then maybe you could put your orb, like, you know, if they get past that, you could maybe put your orb either just here, right? It's just like a place to defend, or even like I thought you could put it actually on the site itself, right? So something like this. Putting your orb here gives, it's kind of like the Haven smoke, where you give yourself the chance of being like fighting here, run into the orb, you know, run the other way, can hold the site, right? Like, can snake bite off where they're planting or whatever. They don't want to plant inside the orb, right? You can then come back out here and fight this way, still safe from this side, like, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, kind of something like that I thought would be okay. And on B, See, it's interesting because you do want to hold mid. I think the problem for the defenders in mid is that it's quite difficult. Like from where you start, if I show you where the barriers start. Like from where you start the barriers on defense, obviously you've got this angle. Like, yeah, you could op, but you know, they're probably going to smoke this off a lot, I guess. This is probably going to be the most common smoke to do at the start of the round. Just because it means, like, I mean, especially here, you start really far back, right? So you're way out of the round if you start there. So you'll probably want to start here, maybe here, right? But again, you have a bit of a distance to go, whereas the attackers don't have that far to go, right? They just do this. So for them, it's like a bit short for them. So I think that holding mid is going to be important for defenders, but like not easy. So you're going to probably put a you're going to put, I think, a heavy active priority of util rather than like Viper stuff, like on split, right? You know, on split, I was thinking like if I tried to hold this like Viper on split, where am I putting my orbital wall? Because if I put it down here, that's just too far away, right? Like that's just too much in their space. They're just going to get past that. But then if I just put it like back here, if I draw my battle line like too far back, like they'll be able to get past that pretty easily. I feel like you want more initiator type util in here, if you get what I mean. On B though, if you wanted to do a B setup, again, I was thinking similar sort of stuff to your A wall. Or maybe it's something like this. Maybe even a bit more like that. You know? Something like that. Again, just making them cross the wall multiple times. And then again, like orbs in and around here that you can play off. Don't know exactly where you'd put it, but you know, again, just like an orb to play inside of, to isolate fights, right? To do this, to come back. Maybe even here, to be honest, thinking about it. Maybe even something like that. Right, that gives you the option of like dipping back in, and you actually could create something quite interesting there. You put it like that. Getting the option of coming in. Dipping in, dipping out. Kind of stuff. Allowing people to flood back in here, right? Like get close.
I see mid more like sunset mid with a split layout, where you will see a lot of trap play mid, and dry swings top mid and mid round contact to re-clears.
I think it depends on how often though they try and like I see almost like, I mean, I do agree with you in a sense that like the A site, the thing that's different about Sunset though, right? To this is that the A site of mid here, like this feels like a very heavy A side skewed map, right? Like it's easier to get in here, right? Like getting past this is easier than on B, right? So you can get in here and then maybe work your way in here, right? And get in here. So you have that. But also, unlike on Sunset, right, you have the B side of mid. And A doesn't really have a side of mid unless you go pushing deep into, you know, top mid and in their spawn. But on this map, the easier side of mid, or the closer side of mid to you, is also this. So it feels like A will be just easier in general. Or harder to defend, I should say. You're probably going to need more people toward leaning A than you do leaning B. Because like if you want to do a B split, you got to make sure you're not getting reflanked from that. You got to take care of this. You got to push through all of this space. You got to take B main. And then you got to deal with this. Now I will say this isn't too bad when you actually come out here. If you can get to this spot, it's not too bad. But I do think this is going to cost probably quite a bit of util to actually make this happen. Unless you're playing like maybe Neon and you can just beat the time. But yeah, I do think Viper will be a very good pick on this map. Very good pick for pressuring both towards A and maybe B. I think Omen, I mean, one of the coolest thing I found, I mean, again, with Omen, I mean, obviously just Omen's good. Now, you don't have the one-ways, which does hurt a little bit. But even if you're doing stuff like this, right? Like TP across here, I mean, look at this flash. Look at that flash. Right, for whoever's going in, Yoru, Neon, whatever. Like, it's just good. It's just good. I mean, again, I was thinking like you could Omen Flash here, defense side. I'm not sure that's that good. Sajanti with 37 months.
Who knew the train would never stop?
Who knew? Also, cool things you can do with Omen. We actually saw Mel do this in the game, I think. Double smoke like this.
I knew.
In here. I mean, that's just a sick play as well. I do think Astra has use on this map, but it has to, Omen is just, I don't think there's enough reason to play Astra.
You can tell a person's character by
Like, again, certain recall stars, like, again, if you are doing that Viper setup, like, you know, recall starring that as your Viper swings through and gets onto the angle. What the fuck am I hearing? Or, like, again, like, as your if your Viper was on B, like, you know, doing a recall star there as your Viper comes here. All useful, like, fine, but I don't know. I just think Omen's probably going to be a bit better. Can Omen smokes reach the entire map? Good question.
30
Let's
seconds
check.
left. Thrifty.
Go to this corner here. How far can I reach? I mean, I can't reach the actual A site, but obviously this is literally as far away as you can actually get. Like, if I was here, I can. If I'm on defense, I'm defending B. I'm in elbow of B. I go in A. I can't quite reach fully across, but if I go to heaven, I should be able to smoke anywhere. So I can't quite reach there.
Omen smokes can't reach the other site on
Yeah, that's
Lotus,
true.
Haven, Icebox or Split. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And also, especially a Viper, and I do think this will be a Viper map.
I can see Sage
It matters
plays
less
here.
when you have Viper too. Can you put a Viper wall on A that
30
defends
seconds
mid
left.
too?
Thrifty.
I'll choke their sight.
Where would you put it across A? Not all of mid, I don't think so, no. Where would you put it? Across this? You can get it across this one, but not all the way across. And you'll definitely want... I mean, if you want to just do a choke point one, you can. But again, I'm not sure that this choke point will be that easy to defend, if I'm being honest. But maybe you could do this. Or not that. Jesus, what the hell happened there? Yeah, you could just put a tiny Viper wall across. That would be good. You could do that. And then, like, put your orb. Even, like, here, maybe?
Poison orb emitting.
And just stop them coming in here, and you just say, I'm just going to defend this. I don't know.
Poison's off. Toxins going up.
I mean, something like that could be okay, but again, I'm not sure that that'll be that great. I don't think that'll be that hard for the attackers to get through. It could be okay as like an idea of, you know, we're gonna walk up to this part of the wall and then just, you know, we're gonna aggro through it. It might be okay. It's not
Toxin
terrible.
screen down.
What can you do on B? You can do the same on B here. So yeah, you might get walls like that. I don't think they're that bad.
Toxins going up.
Again, I do think you start, because remember, defenders, you start here, right? So you are starting quite far back from that wall.
I can see a Sage wall and Omen TP on top and shoot through the small hole on site A.
Toxin screen down.
I don't think a Sage wall is enough to get you up there, to be honest.
30 seconds left.
Let them try to get through me.
Is it?
Forward! Wall raised.
You need something else, I think. this?
On the block behind you.
So what, Omen TPs on that? I mean, okay, you can see some parts of it, but... Like, if they come close, then you wouldn't be able to, I don't think. But if they're back, then yeah, you could. Spot the enemy, then wall spam. So you just play here with an Odin. Jump. Oh, they're there. And do this. I did the wall wrong? What happens if you do it the other way? That's a fair point. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. If you do it this way. And then Omen TP up. It could be fun. I'm not sure about the problem with Sage is I think it's a Viper map, and as soon as you get to Viper, it's like, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Omen. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Viper. My first thought was it's gonna be Yoru. God, you have to scroll now.
30 seconds left.
The reason I think it's gonna be Yoru is obviously, I mean, Yoru's
Jeez, I
just
like
good.
the
By
ads
the
on the
autos.
bundle. Riot is so sneaky to get my money.
The ad, oh, you mean ADS? I thought you meant when you said ads. Neon? I don't think Neon. I think Neon is the other option you could go with. I think if you're playing double initiator, you can go Neon. I think if you're not, you probably want to go Yoru. The reason I say that is because, oh yeah, there's one ult up here, yeah, and the other one. There's just two ultos. There's one on A, and there's just one on B. I would say pretty attack sided and neutral. Probably, yeah, slightly attack sided, but not easy. The entry pathing on both sides. Well, this is what I mean. On A, like if you're playing Neon, let me start with Neon. To be fair, it's probably easier.
30 seconds left.
If you're playing Neon on A, the one I think the big advantage Neon has over the others is that it is more possible to go and do, you know, this, right? And I think you can. Well, I don't know exactly where it is, but I think you can probably bounce a stun. Like if you're good, you can probably wall, bounce a stun off that, and you bounce. What I wanted to do is bounce a stun, so that like goes. I wanted to hit that. Is that possible?
Shocking. Shocking.
What did that hit? Kind of possible.
Shocking. Shocking.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you could stun this, and then stun somewhere. I was hoping it would get there. The reason it, like, Neon, this is going to be more possible, right? It's going to be more possible to go for this pathing, and come in here, and, like, pinch on people here, than anyone else, I think. Because with everyone else, this is such an open space, right? That you're going to run into trouble. That if you just smoke this off, obviously at some point, when you get to here, you're going to be looking this way. But at that point, they can, like, you don't want to end up in that spot, right? That's why I think a lot of people are going to end up smoking this. Or playing, like, this is why Viper's good, right? Because you can just Viper wall and walk up to this point, right? And just slowly clear this space. Neon is the one example I think that you could probably say, hey, because, like, Neon is the one example where maybe you could feel confident in doing that and, like, going for that. But otherwise, I think almost all of your other execs, kind of like Sunset, are going to come this way. Which is why Viper is good here. B-side, I don't love Neon as much, though. But, like, that's the one kind of, like, Neon unique thing that maybe you can do that a bit more. But I'm not sure that's the way you want to really play it that much. What, you would put, like, a wall like this? Like, if you're Neon here, what, you do that? and you try and aggro into elbow. Again, that's not bad. Actually, that isn't that bad.
Coming through. Take this. Gotta go. Go, go, go.
That's not that bad. I'm still not sure. And you could go the other way as well. You could come out this way, couldn't you? Problem you've got there is you have to clear this corner. But yeah, there's maybe some interesting things you can do with Neon. And the Neon defense might help you somewhat.
Go, go, go.
In terms of rotating a bit faster. So again, if you do have to rotate like that, that is going to be a bit of a pain. Fade or Sova? My first thought was Fade, but I actually haven't. That's one of the things I hadn't tested. But it's obviously one of them.
Buy what you need.
Looking at the map,
Otherwise, we're going to look very stupid.
there are some closed off areas, which generally isn't amazing for Fade, but that's the thing. I don't know any lineups or anything. But there probably is,
Where are
you know, some decent Fade haunts. Is there anything back here? I mean, this is more open than you'd think.
you? Where are you? I'll find you. Where are you?
But I think, yeah, the Prowlers, having 2 Prowlers will probably be pretty good. Because there's going to be a lot of areas like this that having the 2 Prowlers is probably worth. And is probably, like, good. So my first thought would be Fade. I mean, I'm not sure about the ults. I haven't really checked yet. I mean, especially, I mean, if you got across here. I think all of that is pretty good.
There, take them.
My ult is ready.
Yeah, seems pretty good. Yeah, I think there's probably enough rooftops here too, where you could play Fade. I wanted to get that up here, but
I'll find you.
you know, that's not bad. On B, there's quite a lot of. You can just fucking
I'll find you.
get it on this or some shit.
Where are you?
Maybe here.
Where are
Pretty good. You definitely can get it there.
you? I'll find you.
Right, I mean, that all seems pretty good. Someone please tell me Viper will be meta. Viper will be meta. But that, again, I'm thinking Omen, Fade, Viper, but then Yoru just fits into that so well.
30 seconds left.
Right, Yoru just fits into
You all
Switching
have guns.
sides.
Now use
into that style.
Zako better watch their backs.
What site would you play Yoru? I mean, you probably put Yoru in mid. Maybe.
Cutting through.
The option to TP to B. Getting aggro. I mean, as an op map, I'd say it's an okay op map, but not maybe the best. I mean, you can op down here, but again, you're going to get smoked off, you would think. The advantage of Yoru is you can actually be super aggro here in mid, which I think, again, is pretty good. I think being super aggro, like, as a Yoru, you're going to probably, you know, end up in here a bit, and like, that's a free TP out. That's, like, pretty good. That actually takes you all the way back to A. So, like, you could be here, you know, being aggro in mid, you know, do the little fucking Jogmo peek. Be back on A. Or as an entry, yeah. If you want an entry on A, I mean, that's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Being here and
Time to jump.
going to A like this.
Decoy.
But I think the advantage of Yoru is, like, if we come towards A, like, there are little pockets that if you can clear out, so let's say you throw Fade Horn, you know, on this box or whatever, or Prowler this, right? I should have checked the Fade Prowler here. That's actually quite important. But you clear that out, right? However you do it, right? Just going for like a basic, very basic. And that's probably going to go in there. But you could just TP there. Or I guess you could TP back there.
Fake teleport.
But like neither is bad. Like they're in somewhat safe positions. If I TP here, if I know that all this is clear, TPing here. I mean, you could probably get a TP there. Now that I think about it, I just do that. That's the thing. It feels like there are more. Oh, but we need to do it more with the wall. But this one, surely that's going there. Yeah. But yeah, whether you TP here, there, it's not that bad. They might even want to get there if you think about it. Like if you could get the perfect angle to where it like comes off that and then goes here, like when it rotates. I mean, you could probably get into this corner, which are all decent. And again, I think because defenders, like if you can get here in mid, and if you can, you know, get super aggro and like deny them all this space, and so your teammates can just rotate like this through mid, like that's a massive advantage. And again, Yoru is the agent that allows you to do that, right? Because you can TP out. Because you can be gone and be safe. On B, let's take a look at B. But again, on B, you can surely go in towards elbow.
Cutting through.
Can you? Oh, that's slightly missed. Let me think.
Time to
Oh,
jump.
like here. You need to like rotate to the left before.
Cutting through. Fake teleport. Time to jump. Fake teleport.
I'm not sure you'll quite get enough rotation on it, but
Fake teleport.
you can go into that corner for sure.
Time to jump.
That corner, that's safe. It's not the worst. You might be able to get into elbow. Maybe I'm not. I'm not good enough with Yoru to do it. What would you do from this side? You can go into this back corner, surely.
Cutting through.
Oh, fuck it. We're going fucking deep in mid. That's the thing. There could be quite a few different creative shit that you can do with this. Oh, you can probably go in the dugout. Why didn't I think about that?
Here.
There you go. You can go into this back corner. Which again, if you have... But again, like imagine you're doing the Viper wall across here, right? The one that I showed earlier where there's a Viper wall here. Like TPing into this corner. If you fade Prowler down here and just show that this is relatively clear. And TPing behind it and then just attacking into this. What I like about this map is there's quite a few different things you can do, I think. I mean, you must be able to get into there as well. Yeah, so you could TP in here. That's going to be pretty safe. So yeah, I quite like Yoru. I just think, I mean, I quite like Yoru in general. So I do think... I just think that those four, I think Omen, Viper, Yoru, Fade, I would just fucking insta-lock. Now the fifth is where I think it gets interesting. Because with the fifth, the ones that I've struggled with is which Sentinel to play.
Let us use our sight to our advantage.
I think there's some good things you could do with Cypher. I think there's some good things you do with Killjoy, and I think there's some good things you can do with Vice.
As Def, how do you fight a main without one-ways or beat shoot-ill? If you give it up, attackers can easily pinch sight and pinch a link, which would mess up rotates.
I think that's a good question. How do you fight this space? I don't know. Because you're right, you can't do one-ways. This is quite a big area, so very few bits of util will cover all of that area.
will reveal their secret.
You're actually slower to this wall than the attackers are, because you have to start here. You go 1, 2, 3. Whereas they start like here. Just go 1, 2. There's a crazy flash lineup for Yoru and A main if you look up to the left. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm sure there is. But yeah, flashes. But obviously the problem with flashes again is against a pro team, one guy's just gonna sit here and do that. And you say flashes, like what if I get to here? You know, I don't know. I think it's tough. Like I say, I feel like defenders on A, it's very much gonna be a stall in this area kind of defense. Like one thing I like that you can do with Cypher though is trip this side off. Right? Doing a trip there and making sure that they don't come this way. Because I do think that a lot of teams will just smoke this. Right? That they will start with some kind of smoke there to pressure you as if they're coming this way. But I think knowing that no one has come that way could be decent. Like if you start Cypher and you go 1 there and go 1 and like as the barriers drop you run up here and do this. I think that's okay. I found a funny cam. I mean, you can, where was this cam? Something like that. You come and put this cam all the way. I mean, that's quite funny, isn't it? Stand on the box? You can't stand on any of these boxes. Another good one is in here somewhere. Where was it? It's like there or some shit. Oh, maybe it was a bit higher. I got a camera in here that like... You know, little things like that. And then obviously you've got it for kind of like a retake. Phonetics Ascent combo. Well, this is the thing. I haven't tried out Chamber yet. I'm still in the process of trying things out. I think the Cypher setups on B are pretty... I mean, again, I mentioned this in my video, but like... Getting an Odin out. And doing this as they try to plant.
Cage triggered.
I mean, I think that's just pretty funny. Again, I think your Sentinel will probably start towards B. I think that's generally will be the Sentinel place. Obviously, you can jump on this from heaven and... My camera's all the way over there. You can put some... I tried to find some broken cameras, but unfortunately I think they aren't stupid enough. I couldn't get a camera on this. They've seemed to have out of bounds to this part, because I thought, what if you get a camera here and just see out all this, but fortunately they had to be boring and not let you do that. What was I on there? But yeah, there has to be some pretty decent cameras that you can do on this site. You know, that at least give you a certain good vantage point. Oh, by the way, if you jump this, you will take damage. But if you fall it's one of them where if you just fall, even if you fall on the lower part, you don't, but if you jump, you do. So basically, don't jump. Hello, General Genji. But yeah, I think that this B site is pretty decent for Cypher. Again, this probably... I mean, again, there will be some Cypher trips and shit, though, obviously. You can spend some time really going through if you want to, but... You know, I'm sure there'll be plenty of cringe here. You know, deep trips in here. And again, you could always do the Cypher A Haven shit, you know, where you just chill here, wait for a trip, and... You know, I think if you are playing Cypher, that will be pretty common. And even if you are Odining up here, again, you can just spam through that. Get anywhere they try and plant. It could be a heavy spam map, particularly if it is double smokes. But yeah, Cypher I think is fine. The problem I had with Cypher was, what does your Cypher do on attack? Because obviously, like on Split, Cypher has a very good role on attack. And I know that, like, you know, it's Cypher attack, don't worry about it too much. But at the same time, I couldn't find a ton of things that I was like, oh, that'll be good. You know, other than just like, oh, I throw a cage, you know, towards main. Whatever it is, right? Like cross across here, you know, I couldn't find a ton of shit. Because if you're going like a lot of 1-3-1, like again, is Cypher the best for this? Like, would Viper be better over towards A? Probably.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
You know, maybe you could do that, but that's using both cages. I'm not sure you can throw it far enough to get to the... Maybe you can, actually. But you have to be across already. Don't think you could throw it over that. There's no way. You think it's a 1-1-3 map? Think you'd start 3 towards... I don't think... I don't, surely you want to pressure more mid than 1. Is it attack or defense sided? Too early to say. It will start attack sided because maps always start attack sided. Is the map good? I think it will be a good map. I think it will be an interesting map. I think there's parts for it for everyone, to be honest. You can pinch mid through A, surely. That's what I mean. You're just gonna... Well, this is my part about Cypher, is that, yeah, you want, I think, a bit more stopping power than Cypher for this part of the map.
Here.
But if you're going with a 1-1-3, your 1 in here isn't pinching through mid. Unless you're just saying we've got Alfia and he's just going to fucking win this 1v1. But I do think it will be a heavy A map. Like, A is definitely the thing you have to solve. Like, you might start off with like 2 people A, 1 A link, 1 kind of mid and 1 B. But if you're starting off with 1 B, then you'll probably want
30 seconds left.
Killjoy or Vice as your B. I'll try Chamber in a sec because I haven't even thought about Chamber. But again, with Killjoy, it's like, what's your best turret here? Why the fuck did they nerf the Killjoy turret fucking view? I don't even know. Is that a good turret? Does that see people there? There's this line. It might, but it might not shoot at them.
Coming back. Turret out.
That might be okay.
Recalling my bot.
Think about vents and split. So you think you want to go... So Zoltox thinks that people will want to go like this way. So you think that people will want to attack this. But that's what's interesting about the map. You could do that. This is what I like about this map. Is that if you wanted to... Like I said with that Viper wall. That's why I think that Viper wall is good.
30 seconds
Because you
left.
could go either side of it.
Thrifty.
Remember,
I mean, you could do a setup.
when they're crying for air.
If you do it from further back. Let me go further back. You did a wall like that.
Isolate and exterminate. Toxins going up.
Like, it's kind of a choose your own adventure game. Maybe, what if you put an orb there?
Poison orb emitting.
And yeah, you pinch on this.
Poison's off.
That's why that wall is good, because you can use it to get up this way. So it's literally Sunset A setup. Well, this part of A is very similar to Sunset. I'm not sure you would put your orb there because you probably don't have enough fuel for that, really. But yeah, I think a Viper wall on A somewhere there is gonna be good. And you could just put your orb mid if you wanted to. Just throw it. Probably get a lineup to there. Something around that. Then yeah, just A splitting. Like, this is the thing, that you're gonna start with 3A. So you want to be able to hold B, but wouldn't Vice just be the best at holding B?
Thrifty. Control the space. Control their choices.
Whoever's on B needs to be able to... Well, it could be Cypher, though. See, now that I'm thinking about it, what if you didn't hold B, but you played B for retake? Like, how easy is a B retake if you hold this part of mid? The problem is, again, like, if you're starting 3A and you play for a B retake, like, if you're starting 2 here, 1A link, 1 mid, 1 B, but you play like a passive Cypher B setup, these guys are fucking years away. Like, if they don't think that they can rotate like this, they've got a long fucking journey. So can you play it like that? Can you play the map like that? If the answer is no, then Vice is probably a better option. Whether that's... I mean, again, you must be able to do some... You just wall this trip. You just... Then they bait that out, don't they? Is there a way you can do that deeper?
Wall set.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Placing wall trap.
Okay, yeah, so you can just do it off this and make it a bit deeper. And yeah, they could walk down here, but you're not clueless.
Launching thorns. Thorns activated. Rip and tear. Close our lives.
I wanted to put it on this.
Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Yeah, that looks quite nice. I like that.
Launching thorns. Thorns are live. Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Doesn't look very nice to get through. Like, I mean, flash-wise... Again, there must be some good spots here. Bro, let me put it on a fucking fancy dancy wall. Why not?
Flash placed. Flashing. Retrieving flash.
Okay, put it on that.
Flash placed.
You could disguise it in the trees.
Blinding prepped.
Flower in the trees.
Blinding.
I mean, maybe it is
Retrieving
Vice.
flash.
I need to think about it. This A side of the map is quite interesting, though. There are many different ways you could approach attacking. See, I hadn't really thought about what Zoltok said. I was kind of just in pure Sunset mind, where we're just going to come down here. What if we try and pinch on vents like Split? Because it is fairly easy to do that. What the fuck do you do as defenders to do that? Vice, Yoru, Viper, Omen, Fade. I mean, yeah, I'm still pretty sure about Viper, Omen, Fade. And I like Yoru. But, like, do you play a Sentinel? Are we in the old Lotus meta where you'd rather play another Initiator instead, right? Would you rather play
30 seconds.
KO?
Let's make a plan, then execute.
Or whatever the fuck.
Charlie Mike, let's move.
Would you rather play Deadlock? Triple smokes.
Suppressing. Shutting them
I don't
down.
know the timing of that, if they could break that in time, but
Flashbang.
time's pretty nice. It's not a bad knife, is it?
Knife deployed. Flashbang. Flash.
Nice flash. Echo can insta-flash B main as attack. I'm not sure about Gecko.
Flash.
Again, flashing over the top, kind of Ascent style.
Flashbang. Suppressing. Flash.
I mean, like that's the thing. Would you play? I mean, I might play KO because I think KO's good, but I think a lot of teams wouldn't. A lot of teams would probably play. I mean, they might go just double duelist, especially with fucking Paper Rex winning. Playing Fade. I mean, I should probably. Oh, let's check out Chamber. Let's check out Chamber. Maybe Chamber is the answer to all of our problems.
Okay, which gun to pick this time?
Because again, I think we have more defensive problems to solve than we do attack problems. I think our attack problems aren't too bad.
That's a good spot. That works. In we go.
Like, there we go. This is a good TP. You can do it straight from the barriers. Very safe. Pretty nice. Good start. Okay, so that's, I mean, that's just a very basic V1 that you could do pretty much all the time. See, this is where it's probably most important for Chamber, really. Yeah, something like this isn't bad. Thing is, the barriers start here again. So you'd have to, like, run out. Do that. Probably get some support. At least you can TP from here if you are in a bad spot. If there is, like, 5 people there, you could just TP out. No, you smoke that off.
Here.
See, because that's the problem that, again, if I just show you the
30
barriers.
seconds left.
Please
The
do not
mid
stop.
barriers just feel very
Takes this
far
job
away for the
very
defenders.
seriously.
Right, like... Your ideal is what? You smoke off this? I mean, again, maybe you do go for this Viper wall across here. From B or A, whatever it is. And that allows, like if you were playing Viper, right, and we did go Chamber,
Bonne chance, mes amis.
you could start the round. Put up that Viper wall that comes across, like, this part, and get your Chamber up to here. And then have your Chamber, you know, take that fight and get out. It's not bad. It's not horrible.
A gift.
Again, where the barriers start here. Like, is that a safe TP? Is that really that safe? What happens if I put it? Is that safe? Probably not. Is this safe? Maybe? I think again though, B is where you want to be if you're a Chamber. So what if you did play double duelist though? Thinking about it, like really thinking about it. What if you put like a Viper lurk setup on B? Right, so you put the wall on B. And then you play like a double duelist. And you pressure a lot towards A. You go Zoltok style and pressure A a lot. And then you've just got the lurk setup on B for Viper. Yeah, like Neon Yoru. Just fucking sending it. A splits the whole game. And then every so often we walk in B with Viper. Or like that's our cancel option. I mean, what would Chamber do on attack? Again, it's not. Asking what Chamber would do on attack. What the fuck am I talking about? Chamber does nothing on attack. Can get pretty far here, to be fair. Yeah, it's not awful. Chamber, playable. Cypher, playable. The problem I have with Deadlock is what
You're all more important than words on a brief.
again, like just walling. I'm more worried about the Deadlock attack than I am defense. I mean, Deadlock's always going to be somewhat decent on defense. Well, ops, again. What am I have with? Oh, I feel like this will be a common smoke. Again, if we're just going like Zoltok's theory, and we're just pressuring A. Like, again, the problem with opping mid is, again, you start far back. You don't start on a line that you can op easily. Because they're just going to smoke this off. So then you're going to have to swing through it at some point. Again, maybe you can get that set up. You know, an up line here is fine. Up line here is a little bit awkward, again. But again, playing Chamber or something, yeah, like upping down there, fine. I think on A it might be a bit difficult, because again, on A, the problem with A is, as the defenders, is you start too far back. So you would actually, like, getting out here and getting on this up line, again, because this space is very big, it's going to be hard to, like, guaranteed push everyone back. Especially if they are, like, playing Viper with a wall across here as well, like, good luck. You're never re-clearing that space to get deep enough to get an op there. So I feel like you're more so upping this. Which again isn't too bad, like you're in a pretty safe space. Omen flash? An Omen flash doesn't catch everyone there.
30 seconds left.
Again, assume Omen is meta on this map. He is. Playing defense side. This doesn't catch everything. Like what? Because again, they start like here. Well, what if they're Omen at this first thing? Does that miss? I'm in here. Astra smoke plus suck. What? And again, and then they just put up a fucking Viper wall, and we just fucking have to just stare at a wall. Did I watch GE versus TS? No.
30 seconds left.
But people seem to be on this Gecko. What's so good about Gecko on this map? What am I missing about Gecko on this map? I mean, look, I quite like Gecko. I think Gecko's good, but...
I got you.
Harbor Viper? Bro, it's not... Why are we playing Harbor instead of just playing Omen? I can entertain Astra. I'll entertain Astra. I will entertain no one else. You can't throw it over that, surely. No way. I mean, this isn't this part of the map just too big? I mean, this part seems quite big for Gecko, I guess. I guess there is some part to this that I quite like, that... Like this space. Like if you're playing Gecko, you're gonna have to come down here a lot, surely. Like you're never going the other way.
Back to me.
We need Harbor to defuse against Odin. Look, would Harbor be completely dog shit on this map? I'm sure there are some uses for Harbor. But, I mean, at some point, they're gonna have to rework Harbor anyway.
You did good.
I don't love Gecko. I think it's too open for Gecko. At least parts of it. That's the thing, there's a good mix on this map. It's not really like one or the other. Like, again, Gecko for this?
Go get him, buddy.
Yeah, pretty good.
Up and away.
And like little closed spaces like this. Yeah, good. Good for Gecko. Gecko loves this space.
Dizzy's up.
But I think, again, in my head, I'm thinking, we need to, like, to me, it's just all about defense. Like, the defense is what you want to do on this map. I need to think more about what Viper Wall you would actually run. Like, would you just run a Viper Wall in mid? Is that the best way of doing it? Because if it is, that does allow you to push to this point and draw the battle line, get a bit further up, and then maybe flash through. Right, let me think about it. You've probably got Omen A. Just whatever Sentinel you're playing, but that's if you're not playing a Sentinel, who would you put there? Viper? Viper on B? Maybe Viper B is good anyway. And what we're playing for, like, Blood in A. Yeah, or you have the Viper where they have to cross 5 times to get there, but Viper. Again, the question is, like, it's such an imbalanced map, in a sense. Right, like, how often will people actually do a B split? I feel like a B split is like what you do when you try an A split, but it doesn't work, so you just, like, you see too many people, so you just then do a B split. You know what I mean? Watch as when? I don't know. I'm not sure I'll be on it, to be honest. I'm going on holiday in a couple of days. B split is Icebox A split type shit. Yeah, it's a lot to take. It's not as bad as Icebox. Don't be real. It's not as bad. If like this whole wall didn't exist and they could just like see you from back here, then it would be like Icebox. But it's one of those it's like Pearl. It's like old Pearl, right? What I always used to say about old Pearl is like, why would I bother doing all this? And like, we can just put a normal smoke down there and get to this for free anyway. There could be some strange setups on this map. Like, you might... What if you went Killjoy?
30 seconds left. Thrifty.
Their tech is only as good as their skill. And there, we have some beat.
What if it is with a Sentinel Viper? You put the Viper on B. Why the fuck did they nerf this shit, man? Why the fuck did they nerf this shit?
Placing sentry.
I mean, there are maybe some interesting Killjoy stuff you can do.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
But again, do you want a turret here? Fuck me, what am I doing? Killjoy ult range? Killjoy ults. And Vice ults. Okay, I would say.
That's how you
This one on A? Not amazing, but okay. Hold on,
Bot
let me
coming
just-
back. Swarm recalling my bot.
This one, also not amazing. The one on A here, not the best. Not the best. Unless you go to like here, and then obviously it's very good.
Initiated. My ultimate ready.
Great post-plant ult though. That's a good post-plant ult. You got the spike down, right? That's a very good post-plant ult. On B though, it's pretty good.
Clear.
This one on B is just, that's just pretty good, right? You can just throw a nano in the back window there.
Swarm grenade out.
And yeah, that's just pretty good ult on B. A retake ult on B? Wait, would you come up here? Would you do it from here? I mean, either is pretty safe and decent.
My ultimate is ready.
That's not bad. If you had elbow, could you do it here? Again, not bad.
Initiated. My
A
ultimate
little gap in that corner, but again,
Placing
just
swarm grenade. Area's clear. Swarm grenade out.
retake on A.
Area's clear.
Again, pretty good.
Initiated. My ultimate is ready.
And spam through that box. Yeah, not bad.
Clear.
I take a look at Sova. I didn't take a look at Sova. The reason I didn't take a look at Sova is because whilst, like, here's the truth of any map. If you take the time to just learn a bunch of Sova lineups, you'll probably cook everyone in every game for like a year.
Eyes on target.
And obviously Sova is just good anyway, so
Revealing area.
he'll probably be pretty good. So the point is, like, just if you want to play Sova, play Sova. Like, it's fine. It's always gonna be good. They like, even on maps where Sova isn't good, if it's a new map and people don't know where your darts are landing, then it's always gonna be good. Even on Split, you could play Sova on Split and it would be fine. Like, if Split was a new map and you learned Sova lineups for it, what's the Sova nerf?
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
I would say Fade is probably better though. It's quality of life.
At thinking man's valor, trust me, the harbor rework will make his cove indestructible by gun and therefore up on this map.
I don't think they'll do that. People would hate that. What did you say? Check strat zone? Where the fuck is that, man? Where the fuck is that shit? Strat zone. Killjoy on B. Hold on, let me show the class. Killjoy on B with Viper Orb and double nanos. How are you getting this wall up though with an orb there? I mean, it might be possible. I don't know if you can throw an orb. I think you can. I think you can throw an orb across here because I think I tried it. Wall across mid. By the way, this wall actually isn't as the Viper wall goes longer than this, so you could do it from back here. Yoru Fade Omen. I mean, it looks usable. It looks usable. Again, my problem... Will post-plants be cringe? Well, a good question. They could be very cringe. I don't think most people will. But if you really, really wanted to, you could get very cringe. I mean, you could get extremely cringe. Maybe it doesn't quite work from that far back, but it does from back here. You could get very cringe. I'm not sure if it will most of the time, but if people really want to, especially on A. On B, the B postman I actually think will play out a lot like what I would call a good Valorant postman. Now, getting the spike down, again, might be hard. But once the spike is down, I think this is going to be a good, honest post plant, right? Where you're going to have to play off each other. You're going to have to play angles. You're going to have to maybe push for space here. You know, but I think it's going to be a bit like an Ascent A post plant. You know, just good old fashioned normal stuff. No, you can't spam the B main wall. I mean, you can spam like just through the corner of it there, but you know, that's like every wall. But no, you cannot spam through this. This is a very thick wall. You could spam the floor here as well, by the way. Like get the bullets going down here. So just so you know, like if someone plants the spike there, just know that you probably need to spam the floor. Did G2 underperform in Toronto? I mean, considering most people had them finishing higher than 4th, I'd say yeah. Right, let's go through. Right, Astra. Playable, but probably not as good as Omen.
30
Breach.
seconds left. Thrifty.
Breach is one of the few agents I haven't looked at all, mainly because I've learned to loathe Breach. Again, stun off the rip. Not awful. It's not awful. Fighting in mid. Not awful. Stun from deep in mid. Trap play in mid. Not awful. Synergy with Yoru. Somewhat. Is it a jet or raids map? It's definitely not a jet map. And it's almost certainly not a... I think there's better options than raids as well. Might not be the worst raids map in the world, but I'm not convinced it is a raids map. Why are they nerfing half the agents? Well, probably just Reyna's ranked win rate is a bit too high. Again, stun B main early, but this is the thing, like, you don't need stun B main early. Who the fuck is, like, unless you predict that they are running B and get it right, you just don't need to do that. That's difficult. C'est difficile. What about your attack side? Again, if you can get your breach here, you know, that might be alright. Stun all the way down here. Might be pretty good. You do, like, try and go for this. Again, could be okay. Like, breach again, like... Is breach truly... I mean, I guess... Well... Is breach truly terrible on any map? Maybe Icebox, but... Is he gonna be the best? Where would you stun it? Like, where? The defenders might play what?
Right there.
Here,
Right
there,
Right
here.
there.
Somewhere around here. Probably. Maybe close corner. So your best stun is probably... something like that. That gets people here. Because I think that this is quite a good angle, right, as they're coming in. So then you have some cover, you can escape. So I think that this will be a pretty common place to play. You can create kind of a high-low if they don't smoke it off, right? Or if, like, they miss the smoke and you get, like, a little gap. Yeah, I'm not convinced by Breach, but then again, I know Breach's win rate, so... Yeah, Brim, no. Chamber... Chamber has some use. Clove, no. Zyper also has some use.
30
Never
seconds
really
left.
checked out Deadlock.
Switching sides. Overtime.
That's the problem with this, is all it takes is just one person to find kind of like an insane setup with an 8, like, especially the Sentinels, and it's like, God, I always forget that they changed the fucking buttons.
Barrier deployed.
I mean, okay, that's not horrific. That's pretty good for a first time. Well, Phoenix. I mean, this ult orb is pretty farmable, to be fair, on attack side, but I don't think Phoenix. I mean, that's not bad. That tells me you can probably get it, like, here. If you wanted to get closer as well, you could. Probably.
Blocking movement.
But yeah, even stopping people from going this way is quite good. Like, locking them into this side, not allowing to blood. It's actually not that bad. Like, if you did that with some sort of grab net lineup as well. Like, grab net, what, back here?
Throwing net. Blocking movement.
Bro, am I just a lineup fucking goat? Oh. As soon as I said it.
Throwing net.
I mean, even stuff like that's not bad. Now, Deadlock as well. I mean, that maybe, you know what? Let's stick to my fucking guns. Maybe it is Deadlock. You know how you counter fucking the fucking Zoltok shit? Put that in there. You say fuck you. You throw this there. Maybe it's Deadlock here. The problem is, again, the barriers. Check that window on A from CT. She can wall through the window. Let's see.
Blocking movement.
Yes. Yes, you fucking can. And the stuns will probably be pretty good in here, you would have thought. Right? Like a stun.
Sound sensor up.
Stun in here. Like here.
Listening.
Like here.
Listening.
And then, like, retake stuns in here. Or even there.
Listening.
Right, like going from CT. Stun. Swing. So the barrier starts here. So let's say you've put one sensor over there. And you're going to come in. And we'll put it there.
Sound sensor up.
Maybe a bit. Would you want it there instead?
Listening.
Could put it there. As soon as they shoot, they get stunned.
No escape. Throwing net.
If that gets you through walls. What is this ability? Why does it do that? Okay, maybe Deadlock's not that bad.
Blocking movement.
What Deadlock on B? Again, I think Viper B could be pretty good, but if you wanted Deadlock here too. That's the thing, this map is so one-sided. So what would you have? What have I got? I've got Yoru, Omen, Viper, Fade, Deadlock? Deadlock, Fade?
Sound sensor up.
What happens if I put that there?
Sound sensor up.
You get shot, you lose the
annoying
round, you
to
lose
deal
the
with.
game. It's an FPS.
Stephen, thank you to Belly Button. Thanks for the 10 months.
How are you liking the new map so far?
I think it's good. I think this will be a fun map. Which duelist? I'm saying Yoru is my duelist of choice. I'm saying this is a Yoru map. Is what I would play. But yeah, imagine stun there. Like stun and then you fucking
Throwing net.
grav net them there. God, that would be fucking hell, wouldn't it? Or even if you're back here.
No
Does it catch people? No, it doesn't catch people.
No escape.
No. So you do have to get on the right part. Does make it a bit worse in case you miss. Oh, but landing it on the box gets it. I see, it's like a net that goes down. Did I check harbor? Why would I check harbor, guys? Be real. Be real with yourself. How many of you have played harbor in the past 6 months? Yeah, you can jump on the hut roof. Check Waylay. I mean, I know Waylay got buffed, but
30 seconds.
is it enough?
Thrifty. Switching sides.
Like, in my opinion,
Focus on your point.
look, if they gave Waylay a second saturate, I'd listen. I'd be in. I'd be like, hold on a second.
Be right back.
Bye.
What even is the buff? They made this bigger. I think it pops quicker. They changed to like your equip time to be a bit quicker, but not instant, I don't think. Changed some things with this, like the max and min time of it is less. So like the max time of this is like 2 seconds or something. Can you dash through the hole? Oh, I don't think you can. No, I think it's too small. That would have been cool though.
Back in a flash.
No. That would have been funny. That would have been awesome. If you could enter the site like this. That would have been sick. God, they should make it just like Waylay size. It should just be like a perfect cutout of Waylay and you have to hit it perfectly to get through. That would have been amazing. Try a jet dash? I mean, if Waylay can't get through, what? You think that fucking Jet's model is smaller or something?
30 seconds left.
Ready.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Wind. Show me where to go. Keep up.
Oh, they pushed me against the wall. What the fuck? Can you send knives through it? Yeah, for a bit. What, Omen TP? There's no way you can Omen TP. What, you're gonna TP on the ceiling? Think he's a spider or something now? We did show Sage Wall here. You can like Omen TP or Jet Updraft on a Sage Wall and be like here. That is something you can do. Yeah, we already did that. Neon slide through there? Yeah, maybe. It's not a jet map. It's not a jet map. Right. It could be Deadlock. I quite like Deadlock. I think Deadlock's a good agent. Fade, yes. Gecko. For me, no. But not useless. Harbor. Stop kidding around. ISO. I mean, ISO's going to be fine. What even makes a good ISO map? Being able to shoot? Dev said they're like Gecko, Jet, Sova, Cypher, Omen. Why the fuck would you play Jet? Give me one, like, what is Jet, right, what is Jet good at, right, versus Neon Yoru? I'm gonna make a video about this after I come back on holiday, but what's good about Jet? The elevation. Correct, that's what's good about Jet, is elevation. Well, tell me. You can't get up. Can't get up there, from there. Wait, you're just gonna stand on this the whole time? Can't get up there. You might be able to do it from this. Yeah, you can do it from there. That's how you get up there. Can just Omen TP up here, by the way, though. But what are you doing in mid? With elevation? They just like Jet because one of the fucking map testers is just a Jet player. You can't even get over that, what? Can't even get over the spikes. I mean, like, what is Jet doing for you here? Look, the fact they didn't say Viper instantly negates everything they've said. Because there ain't no way you're not playing Viper on this map. There just ain't no way. Either a wall on A or B cooks. How good is Raids on the map? Raids will be okay, but not as good as Yoru. Very fitting for where Raids is in the entire game right now. I just don't know what I would want to be the fit. Fuck it, play Chamber. Right, Neon? Neon will be alright.
30 seconds left.
Neon?
Thrifty. Switching sides.
Charge and
Match
shoot.
Neon's
Easy enough.
quite good.
Gotta go. Stock it.
Maybe not the like a legit best Neon map, but again, like, as I said, entries like this. Problem is, how do you set that up? But again, what if you're playing Yoru Neon? Oh, yeah, we're cooking with Yoru Neon. Wall, TP in. Neon, slide, Yoru flash. Holy shit. We flash again. We come into heaven.
I'm out of here.
Actually, that is cooking. You do it if you win. Oh, hold on, we've cooked. Learn some sort of lineup here. I need to go more to the left.
Coming through. Go, go, go.
Get this wall so that you can get a TP in there. In the wall. Yoru TP. Flash. Neon slide. In. Overheat. Flash again. Come up here. Take heaven. Smoke this. Yoru stays there. Neon comes up here. Rest of the team comes in. We pinch on the site from heaven. Well, there's a gap. Bro, I'm fucking just throwing shit out. I mean, to be fair, playing double duelist to begin with anyway is always a good idea. Okay, so you can just do it over the top. Good. So what if I...
This way. Go, go, go.
That one didn't work quite as well as I'd hoped.
Coming through. This way. Coming through. This way. I'm out of here.
Yeah, Neon Yoru. I mean, cooking. No Sentinel. What do you need a Sentinel for? Late mid lurks? Who gives a shit? They're just gonna be attacking A anyway. Play the fuck like Split. Play like Split.
This way. Go, go, go.
Sentinels are overrated anyway. Give me fucking double duelist. Yeah, let fucking wall through this.
Gotta go.
Put a smoke there. Can you play this map without a duelist? Like, can you? Yes. Should you? You shouldn't. But if you really wanted to, you could. Will trap plays in A main be worth it? I'm not sure they will. I'm not sure they will. I think if you run... I mean... Again, I think the thing is, you're going to get a lot of pressure towards A. In a lot of rounds early on. And when you run trap plays, unless you have big ults... Like, unless you got breach ult or something, you know, you don't want to catch everyone. You want to catch one guy on their own. I think it's more likely you'll catch one guy on their own B. So I think trap plays B are actually better. One, it's easier to do because it's a shorter space. And there's less place for them to go. Like, where are they going to go? They've got one place to go. Which is very obvious. Like, what, you're gonna stun like that? Like, you could like, again, if you had the knowledge that it was just one guy, you know, and you knew that they were here, you could do that. Like, something simple like that is fine. I think that if you're looking to run like big trap plays though, where there's like, you know, you're catching the whole team, I think that's gonna be a bit more tricky depending on what comp you play. Do Cypher trips attach to the rails? Oh, this? I don't think so, but I didn't check.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Look at me just auto buying a phantom because I know what I'm doing. Oh, there's one for you. Hold on, he might be cooking. Where the fuck was that? Well, someone is going to spend a fucking long amount of time looking for trips that look like that. The answer is, surprisingly, yes. You can put trips on the rails. Or on this rock. I mean, anyone who runs into this trip deserves to die. God, imagine if you had to actually go... Imagine if Cypher had 4 trips and you just had to run into that. Check on B. It works. Look at that little tiny trip. Bro, if you got caught in that... Imagine playing in heaven. Oh, he's gonna run into my trip, guys. Little tiny little trip. These are my trips for B. But yes, you can trip the wires, the rail lines. Tramways? What are they? Trams or rail? It's like a minecart. Whoa, what the fuck? Am I hallucinating or? That's the skin? Oh, is it the skin? So it's just when you shoot that, it's rainbow colored. Interesting. The day I learned. Any one-way cages? Yeah, there are one-way cages. I mean, again, I don't know lineups for them, but
Cage triggered.
that's probably a little high. There is on A.
Cage triggered.
I mean, again, if you're down here, though. Is that a bit... Let me test.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, yeah.
Cage triggered.
Well, I mean, from heaven it is. Or if you're on here, I guess it is.
Cage triggered.
Like, yeah, if you're up here. You're up on top and then you just drop down. There is on A though, I'm pretty sure.
Cage triggered.
Problem is they're coming from this angle. So yeah, they see you. So maybe there isn't actually. Maybe there isn't really initially. Because they kind of see.
Cage triggered.
It is quite wide as well. And you can't get on that box as safe. One way in the hole.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, if they stand there, you're right. It is a one way. Right in here. This one's... Okay, you can get them on there.
Cage triggered.
But it goes too low. Unlucky. That one's probably too low as well. You might be the perfect height.
Cage triggered.
No, too high. Well, it doesn't seem like they've set this up very well for your boy. Could you put one on this?
Cage triggered.
Maybe just.
Cage triggered.
There you go. Barrier starts here though, so gonna have to learn some fucking good last lineup. Boom. I'm a fucking god. There you go. Done. Right. Who else could be? I mean, I actually haven't tried Raze, but I don't think I need to. I'm not trying Teo either. I mean, Sage will be pretty good early on. Do we look for some random wall boosting shit? Do we look for some interesting walls? So again, for those of you who didn't see it earlier, we'll do this one. So you Omen TP on this. You don't throw away your gun. Raise satcheled up on this. Get your raise to boost you on here. Showed the new ghost. That sounds nice as well. This is probably the best ghost they've ever made. But why? Why not? Let me rotate the wall. Don't do that. Would be quite a funny angle to play on, wouldn't it? Fade get used? I think Fade will be meta. Can you try Sage Wall A from the other box in A? What, this one? How are you getting on here? You didn't see anything. It doesn't quite work as well as you might hope. And I don't think it's possible either way. Anything else you'd do on here? What the fuck? Come on, that's not me. That's the game. It's a nice off angle, I suppose. Right on attack. Problem is on attack, you just do a little Barry basic wall and get into the side. A little fucking split B ass shit. It's good to help you see over smokes. Little mid fight, that actually could. That sounds like a Paper Rex plan if I've ever seen one. Someone's gonna smoke this against Paper Rex and they're just gonna do this. Can you not do it off this? I think you can. I think that's all about the Sage Walls. I'm sure there are more you can do, but you guys are probably just gonna do that. Let's be real. Check strat zone. Here we go again. Shall we show the class again? The Zoltox creation. He's playing ISO. Playing Astra. Have you heard of this Omen agent? Quite good. See, your Viper Wall is fine. But what happens... What happens when they smoke this? And just run and beat you? I guess you're heavy prioring mid. Like, because your ISO won't... I mean, your ISO could do that from here, I suppose, and still hit that. But... So you're using Shock Dart. You're using all this util to gain this little bit of control. But potentially I could walk here anyway. I haven't checked it. This is my problem though. Like, isn't that just... Okay, you're smoking this with one flash. Well, my Viper Wall's here. So we're walking past this. Your flash does nothing and we're just going here. Congratulations. Enjoy retaking A. We're just going to sit here with 5 Odins and spam. We're just gonna run A and spam. I tried defensive TPs with Yoru from B to A. I didn't, but now that I look at it, it's... Well, is it possible? It might be possible from here to get it there and down here. It's true. That is true. I could try that now. See how possible it is.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Am I dying inside? I didn't sleep very well last night, I must be honest, so I am a little tired. From B to A. If I start here,
Get them out of here.
put a TP there.
Time to jump. Fake
Womp
teleport.
womp. But if I come here...
Cutting through.
Oh, these are steps.
Fake
Womp
teleport.
womp. Womp womp. What if I do it from A?
Time to jump.
Oh! Womp womp.
Fake teleport.
I mean, you can do that though, surely.
Cutting through.
I mean, that's not bad, because again, who's ever doing this? Yeah, of course you can just send one through spawn, but who wants to do that?
Cutting through.
Of course I can do that. Imagine being that boring. Problem is, like, again, when you're playing Yoru, like, this is one of the problems with Yoru on this map, I would say,
Fake
is that
teleport.
you can't, like, either you're not going to have a lot of time with your TP, right? So you can't be back here. Like, oh, I'm going to TP back across to A. Like, you can't do that and get, like, in a good position up here without having, like, look, half of my time is already elapsed. So, if, like, if the round started now, you know, half my time is already gone. I'm going to have to make a decision pretty early in the round if I want to TP. Like, if I want to do it off the barriers and have time, I mean, where would you even TP here? But again, I think if your Yoru fights mid, where would he be? Here.
Time to jump.
So you could get to A. Relatively fast. Fight in mid. That might be okay. But yeah, I think Yoru's good on this map anyway. I mean, Yoru's just good in general. That's the thing. Don't overthink things when it comes to metas on maps, because the meta on every single map involves agents that are at least good to very good. What is the worst agent that is meta on a map? Yeah, Brim. Which is very... Harbor? I wouldn't say Harbor's meta on Icebox. Yeah, Brim or Breach. But like, Brim's quite a special case, I think. Like, because if Brim couldn't smoke 3 at the same time, he wouldn't be meta at all. But yeah, like, the bad agents aren't going to be meta, are they? Like, it's going to be a bunch of at least decent agents. And that's not to say someone like, you know, could Phoenix find value on this map?
Switching sides.
Like, is there things Phoenix can do? Who knows?
Someone get the spike.
There's some close corners that you can flash through. Oh, I always forget these fucking agent changes. Why does that feel so slow? Am I crazy? Does that not look quite slow?
Watch your eyes.
They make it slow.
Flash. Flash.
They nerfed Phoenix. Oh my god. Next. Next. Harbor? Fine. You know what? You're right. Harbor.
Thrifty.
Let's check Harbor.
Switching
You're
sides.
so right.
Overtime.
Study their patterns. Exploit whatever you can. Try not to get shot, okay?
Let's come to attack side first. Hold on.
Flooding them.
Oh! Hold on.
Crashing.
Ooh. What would actually make Harbor good? What is the best thing you can do with Harbor?
Walls up.
Let's just put this guy in a fucking box. Oh, I'm sure you probably can, but
Walls up.
just put this guy in a fucking blender.
Water rising.
Look at that. This guy in here. Surrounded.
Water rising.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Right. You wall off this early. You were also walling off this. Cascading this. Unironically, more useful than some agents.
Walls up.
Arbor might be insane. Arbor's just pretty good everywhere. It's just such a big area.
Water rising.
What would you smoke? Something like that? Is that how you would smoke this? On B.
Let's turn the tide. Ultimate ready. Water rising.
Problem with B is you have to.
Walls up.
Hold on. If you're good with Harbor,
Water rising.
which I'm not, but if you are, there is a world where you could probably get 1, 2, 3. There might be a world.
Water rising.
Again, I'm not very good at Harbor, so I'm not the guy to do this, but you know, if you are good with Harbor, it's possible you could do all 3.
Walls up.
Just need to. What, can they just like when we're talking about Harbor buffs? Can they just fucking start by making this wall a bit longer? Like, can they just fucking start with that? And can they start with fucking not having it slow your teammates? Like, it's not so fucking hard to ask. Like, whilst you're deciding what you want to fucking do with the agent, why not just give him some fucking quality of life bullshit that just at least makes him playable?
Flooding them.
Okay. I don't think well, I quite like the Neon Yoru idea. I like just playing good agents and running at people. I quite like Deadlock, to be honest. If this is a map, right? Like, let's assume you're putting Omen or Viper on B. right, as like a solo anchor here. How badly do you need a trip if you're fighting for space on A and mid anyway? Like, you have to fight for space on mid or A. Surely you can't just let them fucking walk on you. Wherever your Yoru is, you're going to play at least somewhat aggro. You could. Crazy how Harbor became meta but with terrible... What's this thing? Terrible win rate? I would argue that Harbor is underrated right now. I don't think Harbor is as bad as people think. I don't think he's very good, but I think people think he's the worst agent in the game, and he's not. There are agents who are worse than Harbor. Who? I mean, again, I don't know about the Waylay buffs, but before this, Waylay was worse than Harbor. For pro play, Reyna is obviously worse than Harbor. With that Phoenix nerf, Phoenix is probably now worse than Harbor. Clove, it's close. That's probably it. Next time you should get the early access for Throw C so we could all play. Interesting. Someone wanted me to look at Omen paranoias. I mean, Omen.
30 seconds left.
I got good news for you if you're wondering about Omen paranoias. Like, if you were worried that they weren't very good, I got good news for you. The best ability in the game, it stays good. I know. I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought this ability would stay good? Oh, what about from here? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this ability would stay winning? Crazy. God, imagine if you see them pushed up here. Bruh. Imagine your fucking Neon coming. That sounds like a fucking sick play, to be honest. Again, Neon fucking skips down here. Omen flash for your Neon. You then like ult back A.
Watch them run. My ultimate is ready.
If a Neon skips down here. Flash. Smoke that box. The Neon progresses this way. Smoke off this.
Shadows traveling.
Pinch on people in here. Interesting. Interesting. What about on B? I've got a good feeling about this. To be fair, hitting heaven and everything. The elevations could be actually a bit annoying on B, to be fair. Because you've got this kind of like mid elevation. A bit lower, which is fine. But then like hitting high and low, not easy. So actually the paranoias on B actually aren't as good as they probably are on a lot of other maps. One ways? Fortunately, one ways. I mean, there are some, but not many. There's that. But again, how well are you gonna hold that when you can just swing this? I don't think you'll be doing that one way a lot, to be honest. Unless you are playing like a super aggro style, but you're probably more just gonna do this one. I mean, maybe this Viper wall is necessary in here. Just to at least give you something. At least give you some hope. Kind of scaling this part at the start. Hold on, we can cook.
Shadows traveling.
Mid fights every round? Not every round, but there will be like late lurking mid is gonna just be the creme de la creme, right? Because whether you go A or B, especially in ranked games, no one is gonna have the patience to fucking rotate all the way back here and around here, or from A go all the way back here and around here. Like they are just gonna fucking come down here. So if you're just patient, or if you can get into like, you know, angles like this or something, you can get to corners like this. Let's say your team is going B, and you're just waiting for them here. Or in fact, if your team's going B, you might be here. Right? In this corner, just waiting. Or if you're going the other way, 3 kills. So like late lurking mid, very good. You will want to do that a decent amount, I think. What's the Sentinel for this map? That's the thing I haven't fully figured out. I think if I had to guess, again, I would just guess based on the pure strength of the agents that Cypher and Vice are probably going to be a bit better than Killjoy, because Cypher and Vice tend to be a bit better than Killjoy. But it's like all things, right? Like if there are good Cypher setups to be had, then Cypher will be very good. And it's difficult to know that right now. Does it feel like Split? Ish. It feels like Split a bit, but there are parts to it that aren't very Split-esque. Like, I mean, like the elbow part on A is very Sunset, right? Like this is very Sunset. But this is what's interesting about the A site, right? Like this is the interesting part of the map, because you've got the Sunset elbow with like the potential mid crunch of like a ramp and of Split, right? It's like choose your adventure. Do you want to go towards A of Split, or do you want to go to A of Sunset? It's kind of like a choose your adventure. You could pinch on this guy in here if you want. Smoke this, and even smoke this.
Cover going out.
I'm not going that box. I'm like, come and just kill this guy. Or smoke this off. Say we're just gonna walk in here. Just slowly walk. Clear everything out. I think the Deadlock could be decent on this map. I think, but again, it's like just what I think about agents a lot of the time, right? Like I'm gonna shock you guys. I think that the good agents are gonna be pretty good on this map. I think the Deadlock is a pretty good agent. So, but yeah, I think the Deadlock could be pretty good. I mean, there's some pretty tight spaces like in here or in here that the sensors will probably be decent, or over here towards elbow as well. Like Gravnet sensors in here could be pretty good. And then in the wider open areas, I mean, that's the thing. Like the weird, again, you're gonna get a bit of a weird thing here on A, where sometimes like it'll be beneficial for the defenders to like wall that up, right, and force you to go elbow and force you to come through this, right? Like that actually isn't that bad, because you have to think from the attacker's perspective. Are you going to waste the time to actually break that? Probably not, right? So then you're just going to get hoarded into here. And you also allow for these rotates to come across. Post plants will either be giga cringe with Odin's, or will be, I think, fairly decent. If you don't play cringe on A, the post plant is quite interesting, because if you have just come down elbow, you know, you kind of just have to stick around. Like, you have to fight this, right? Like, this would be an automatic have to fight, essentially. Because if you haven't taken any space here and they are coming in from this direction, you could catch them out here. That's the thing. What would you smoke if you were retaking here? Don't let me think.
30 seconds left.
Let's say they've just ran A.
Switching sides. Match
They've just
point.
ran in A,
They will hide you.
and we're flooding in from this side.
I will be the
They've gone all the way through elbow. You know they haven't come through here. You don't really want to smoke that off. If you smoke that off, what do you smoke that off?
shadows traveling.
Like, do you just put a smoke here?
Cover going out.
Keep them locked in, but then you have to deal with potential people back here. Guess if you're playing Omen, you could just TP. It's quite an interesting one though. What would you do? You don't want to get caught off there. They could have a potential crossfire set up on you there. Which one's the better one to smoke off? I don't actually know. Like, is smoking that off that good? Because isn't this guy just gonna walk in here? This guy's gonna take contact and then he's just gonna swing. We're smoking this off.
Shadows traveling.
It's probably better. Because when this guy sees you, by the time that this guy sees you here, it's too late for you to swing. Past you. But then again, would you just smoke both? What if I just smoke both?
Traveling. Cover going out.
That's the thing, you're right on the site. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I like this map. As long as we don't get the full Odin, but the thing is, even if we do get full Odin, right? If really someone takes it to the absolute complete cringe, I mean, they'll just fortify this wall, right? They'll just put this on the wall everywhere. And it'll be fine. You know, they'll just fortify all of this shit and they'll be fine. So that's not even that big of a problem. Where's the default plant? Interesting here on A. Where is the default plant? Depends which way you come in from. If you've come in from here and done this and done kind of like a mid-split and you're in here, I would guess it's this. Right, that this is probably your... Wait, can you spam this box? Why could I spam that a little bit? You can't, but... Yeah, I think if you've done a mid-split, probably that. If you've just come through elbow, then probably here. Probably this corner. Because then you're at least somewhat safe behind the box here. On B, I would guess the default plant will be in the dugout. Or like, again, if the Odin spam becomes a problem, then on the post of the dugout, like here. Which you can see from out there. If not, I don't love this one, because this one, like, that plant is always spammable from heaven. You don't even need an Odin. Like, that's just spammable. From heaven, so like you can even be relatively safe doing it. So I don't really love that plant. I feel like this one is partially better, and if you do it from here, I mean, you are. But again, this will always be smoked, right? So just put a smoke there and just pretend. But again, if you know all of these angles from there, you probably can get quite a few kills. Like if you knew exactly where it was. It's like again, if I'm planting here. Yeah, the default plant here on B, I assume will just be somewhere in there. And again, if Odin spam from like back here becomes an issue, then well, then you're just kind of fucked, I guess. To be honest. Maybe I'll even be here. Ban big chair, please. Sorry, Dan. I need you to lock in and play a better raise for me to do that.
Cover going out.
You can one way on that roof. On which? On what? On what? You got me thinking you could one way this then. I got excited. Did you say can you? The answer is no. Remember the good old days of the Omen one-ways? You can one-way the plant. You can one-way the plant. You can, yes. Yeah, and you'll definitely, I mean, at some point you have to do this. Any self-respecting Omen player has to do this at least once a game, I think. Right? Ain't no way you're not doing that. At least a decent amount of the time. Can you do one-ways in main with the other smoke agents? Apart from Viper, no.
30 seconds left.
And again, the Viper one isn't that
Switching
useful.
sides.
But it is fun.
Overtime.
Look them in the eyes when you kill them.
And if you could, it might be very good. And I literally just happened to do this randomly. Yesterday. Last night, I just hopped on for like a couple minutes and just happened to do this.
Poison orb emitting.
But again, because of fuel. Pesky, pesky fuel. Imagine if Viper just had unlimited fuel. Right? If you're listening? Problem with that is, though, that eventually you'll just run out of fuel and they'll just... like, again, in ranked, this might work because people aren't patient, but in anything but ranked, I don't know about that. Although I guess you could snake bite it and get back. How much time does the snake bite give you on fuel? If I did this. That's the thing though, you could put that up. You don't even need to watch that. Who the fuck is walking through that?
Poison's off.
How does the snake bite last? Oh, it only gets you up to 30. Unlucky. Smoker's a little too slow. I mean, it doesn't really matter because again, it's not that useful. It would be close, I think, in how slow it was. But the point is, it's just not that useful to begin with. Because it's not kind of... like, again, if you could one-way this as Omen as well, this would be crazy. Like, this would be crazy if you could just normally one-way that as well. Because then you could put Omen one-way to start, throw that. When the Omen one-way goes, you put this up. I mean, you literally would have the whole round of one-way. You literally, the whole round could one-way this. Which would be insane, but... Killjoy Molly's on top of B-side hut.
30 seconds left. Switching sides.
Oh,
Match.
What time is it? Oh, it's 5:30. I need to eat.
Stress if I die. It was great knowing you all.
On top of the hut?
Out of charges.
Hold on, let me...
My ultimate is ready. Placing swarm
Ain't
grenade.
no way that's doing anything.
Swarm grenade out. Swarm grenade out.
It does hit you there, though. From one's in here. You could put one down here.
Swarm grenade
That will still hit you. That could be quite good. Can you stand on that thin wall at B main as Jet raise Omen TV? Thin wall at B main. Okay, oh, can you stand on this? No, you can't get on this at all. That's what you're on about. You can get on this box. Not from this side. From this side you can't. But yeah, that's quite good. That nano's pretty good. Just like you just... The fucking swirls just get you.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. Swarm grenade out.
Well, that's quite a good setup. You asked, no, you can't put anything on this. This is... I'm going to guess this was a late addition. I'm going to guess initially when they designed this map it was just a non-wall, but probably decided it was too OP. Probably realized that one ways in general were just a bit OP. Like, you can't put anything on that. Apart from a Viper Orb, which does land on it. But yeah, these two walls. Oh no. No. Can you not do that with Vice Vines? I assume you probably can. Or do the Vice Vines only fall down?
30 seconds.
They allow you to
Ready.
do...
Switching sides. Overtime.
Good, aren't I? Launching thorns. Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Yeah, don't they only
Thorns are live.
go down? So with the Vice Vines, you'd have to put them like
Rip and tear.
that.
Thorns are live. Thorns activated.
I need to put it left a bit more.
Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Whoa, what? Why does that work? Why does that work?
Launching thorns. Thorns are live.
How did you know that?
Thorns are live.
What about on the hut?
Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Yeah, didn't they change it so it doesn't fall? I mean, before pre-nerf, that would have fallen all the way down, but I don't think it does anymore. Okay, I think that's probably where I'm going to end it. Ultimately, my thoughts on the map. Omen, Yoru, Viper, Fade, plus one of whatever you want to play. If you want to play double duelist, go for it. You want to play a Sentinel? Fine. You want to play a Deadlock? Good. You want to play... I don't know what your second initiator would be. I don't know. I fade over Sova. Because I think having the two prowlers is pretty good. There's enough like close angles and shit that having two prowlers is pretty good, I think, on this map. How do I rate the map, Doug? I think it'll be a good map. I think it's interesting. I think it might be a little... It's a little one-sided. It's a little skewed towards A. Where both the first part of mid leads towards A. And I think A is just easier to get in than B. But I think it'll be fun. I think there's a lot of... I think there's different styles you could bring to this map as well. It could be fun. And I think... I want to see some attack sides, like, you know, it seems like doing weird shit would be more viable on this map. Right? Like, if you want to truly, like, go elbow into heaven, you probably could if you really wanted to. Same for if you, like, really wanted to push this, like, you probably could. The Odin spam, we'll see. How strong is the Odin spam? I mean, it's pretty fucking strong. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Again, I'm not sure how many people will commit to this. It's not even just from out here, though. Again, like, it is from here as well. Like, if you plant in this corner... and just do this. And I guess that. Yeah, you can just do it from both sides. You can just get 2 Odins. One here. One here. And whoever is defusing this, good luck.
There.
Good luck. Now you can't spam it with, like, you know, non-high penetration. It does have to be like Odins or Sheriffs or Guardians, but he says as he finds an angle to do it. That's a bug, surely. Is it? Okay, you can't spam this one. But this side... Why can I spam this? That seems like that should not be the case, surely. Why is this little bit here medium pen? Look, I can't spam anything else. Like, none of that is going through. But this little, maybe this is just a bug. I hope this is just a bug of like, or something that they didn't realize. There's just a tiny, tiny bit of medium penetration. But it is also where you could plant the spike. Like if the spike was planted here, that would be no good. I guess it means you could spam back. And I can't spam through any of this. Can I? No, I did check this all before, and I was like, am I breaking this map somehow? Why can I now spam this as well? Is it just this corner? Does it only work at an angle? Okay, if it only works at an angle, that's fine, but what? But why? Look, that is coming up orange, so that's not going through. Like, look, none of that has gone through. But weirdly, it doesn't go through there. Where is that? Where are those bullets going? It's going through that wall, but not that one. But still, that's a problem. Okay, I think that's where I'm gonna end this. So yeah, Omen, Yoru, Viper, Fade, plus something. Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice day.